Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we've got a great lesson for you about traveling and getting directions.
That's right. So sometimes we are looking for an address, we are looking for our friend's house, and we can't find it. So what do you have to do? You have to stop and ask someone for directions.
There's actually a joke in many countries that men hate to ask for directions. And so this is kind of the women's approach. Asking and getting directions and finally finding your way. So it's a good thing.
That's a very good thing. So we're going to jump right into the dialogue. Let's see what happens here and if they can find the place they're looking for.
We've been going around in circles for the past hour. Will you just please stop and ask for directions?
We are not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route.
Yeah, whatever. I told you we should buy that GPS that was on sale. But would you listen to me? No, this is so typical.
Fine. I'll ask this guy for directions if it will shut your trap. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to St. Mary's Church?
Sure. Go down Park Road, turn left, go up as far as the set of traffic lights and turn left. The place you're looking for is the second building on the right.
Thanks.
See, was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off.
All right, we're back. So, well, the woman was obviously a little bit angry that the guy refused to admit that he was lost.
That's right. She's very frustrated, and this has been in movies and in books and all sorts of things, this kind of story of the man not wanting to ask for directions. Mm-hmm. And so he keeps saying, listen, I've got these excuses. I'm taking the scenic route, for example.
That's right, and that's our first word for today on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So as you say, the scenic route, what does he mean by that?
Okay, route is like a path or a trail or kind of like the way that you go somewhere. Mm-hmm. So the route's to my house. Mm-hmm. But in this case, the scenic route or the scenic route, you can say in both ways, is the most beautiful way to go.
It's a little usually bit longer though,
the
right?
longer one, yeah. So you can say, oh, it's just the scenic route. It's not really true. It's just the longer route.
Right, exactly. So that's the excuse that he's giving her. He's like, no, I'm not lost. We're taking longer because, well, we're taking the beautiful route.
Right, with all the trees and the animals and the lakes. Nah, I don't buy it. I don't believe this.
That's right. And she said, yeah, whatever. You know what? We need a GPS.
Okay, GPS, Global Positioning System. So many people have these in their cars these days. This is like an electronic map that will use your location to show you where to go.
Mm-hmm. It's very useful, and especially in places like the United States that have streets that are clearly marked, and it's just a little bit easier to get around. You know, you can just get in your car, type in the address you want to go to, and the thing talks to you. It says, turn left, go straight, turn right.
Creepy. So this is a very useful device. It's like a computer that you use in your computer, a GPS.
Mm-hmm. All right, so she's talking about the GPS, and then at the end of that line, she says, this is so typical.
So what? Getting lost. All right, getting lost is so typical. Mm-hmm. So something that is typical is common, because this is so normal. This is so typical. This is so something you normally do.
So what other examples could we give with the word typical? Something that is typical.
Okay, well, you can have a behavior like this. What he did was typical. We can also say, in my typical Saturday, I wake up late and drink a coffee and take a nap.
Okay, cool. So it's common, it's regular, it's frequent maybe.
That's right. Or, you know, you go out to dinner and your friend is late. You say, oh, this is so typical of him.
Right, he's always late. Okay, very good. All right, and we have one last set of words here. And when the guy was giving him instructions, he said, you know what? Go left, go right, whatever. And then he said, until you reach the set of traffic lights. So what is a traffic light?
Well, you know what a light is. Mm-hmm. You know what traffic is. Traffic is cars driving on the road, trucks, things like that. So traffic light is a special light with 3 colors, red, yellow, and green. Mm-hmm. And it tells you if you can stop or go.
So they're also called stoplights, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So stoplights and traffic lights is the same thing. Usually they hang from above the street.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Words and phrases there. Why don't we listen to our dialogue again? And we'll be back in just a little bit.
We've been going around in circles for the past hour. Will you just please stop and ask for directions?
We are not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route.
Yeah, whatever. I told you we should buy that GPS that was on sale. But would you listen to me? No, this is so typical.
Fine. I'll ask this guy for directions if it will shut your trap. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to St. Mary's Church?
Sure. Go down Park Road, turn left, go up as far as the set of traffic lights and turn left. The place you're looking for is the second building on the right.
Thanks.
See, was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off.
All right, so we've got some great phrases coming up in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So the first phrase that we're going to look at is what the wife said at the very beginning. She said, "We have been going around in circles for the past hour."
Going around in circles. So we could say we've been driving in circles. In circles means you've been making the same route over and over and over again. You keep seeing the same house, the same tree, the same house, the same tree. So this means we're not going anywhere. You could also say, "Oh, Marco, I wish you had brought the map. We've been walking in circles for 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So you can use it if you're driving or if you're walking in any situation like that.
Exactly.
Okay, good. All right, so going around in circles. Now, moving on, the guy was a little bit irritated with her, and he said something that's a little bit impolite. He said, "You know what? I'm going to ask for directions if it will shut your trap."
Impolite. This is rude.
This is rude.
Yeah, this is very rude. So be careful when you use this. You can say, "Hey, shut your trap." Okay, so shut means to close. But trap, this is your mouth. Okay.
So your mouth is a trap.
It's kind of like a trap. In this case, shut your trap is a set phrase, and it means shut up. Be quiet.
Okay.
Stop talking.
So how can we say this in a nicer way? For example, I've heard people say your yap. Shut your yap.
Yeah, shut your yapper. I would say, can you please stop talking, or can we have some quiet time now?
Can we have some quiet time?
Yeah, that's a polite way. The rude way is shut up.
Shut up, yeah.
Shut your mouth.
That's very direct though, right? Very
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
So shut your trap.
shut your trap. And then the wife said, "Well, see, there you go. We got directions. We're going to get there now. And was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off." So the guy would be better off. That doesn't really make much sense.
To be better off. Okay, so you have to think of this as a phrase, not about the individual words. To be better off means to be happier or in some way better. So, for example, if I earned more money, I think I'd be better off.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'd have a
maybe
nicer life.
to be happier, maybe more successful.
Right.
Right.
Or if you only listened to me, you would be better off. Means you would make better decisions. You would have a better situation.
So I could say, if she got a divorce, she would be better off.
That's right. Her life would improve.
Her life would improve.
To be better off. This is a great, and very useful phrase.
Very useful. All right, so why don't we listen to the dialogue for the very last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more with you.
We've been going around in circles for the past hour. Will you just please stop and ask for directions?
We are not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route.
Yeah, whatever. I told you we should buy that GPS that was on sale. But would you listen to me? No, this is so typical.
Fine. I'll ask this guy for directions if it will shut your trap. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to St. Mary's Church?
Sure. Go down Park Road, turn left, go up as far as the set of traffic lights and turn left. The place you're looking for is the second building on the right.
Thanks.
See, was that hard? If you would only listen to me more often, you would be better off.
All right, so the whole thing about men asking for directions, why do you think men don't like to ask for directions?
Well, it depends on the person, but I think a lot of people don't like to admit that they don't know. Okay, because if you ask for directions, it means I don't know where I'm going. I
Right.
need help. So this is one problem. The other problem is sometimes directions are bad. true.
I think so too. Sometimes when you receive an invitation or instructions on how to get to someone's house, they're very ambiguous. They're like, you know, you pass the dog that's sitting at the corner and you're like, there's no dog. What? How?
Yeah, I know. I know someone who lives in Costa Rica, and her address is go down the main street, take the second left after the post office, and after that, take the right after the general store, and 400 paces is the house.
So there's no address.
There's no address. It's, you know, so
yeah, it happens.
These instructions can be very confusing, very vague, like you said. So I think there's a couple different problems potentially.
I also heard a joke the other day about a kid asked his mom. He said, "Hey, why was Moses leading everyone through the desert for 40 years?"
Why?
And she's like, because he refused to ask for directions.
Funny. I like that. I was going to say why, because he's going in circles.
Hello and welcome. Today we begin a fun and useful journey to help you feel confident when you travel, especially when you need to ask for directions. Whether you're walking through a new city or driving in a place you've never been before, this topic will help you learn everyday English that people really use. Many people feel nervous when they're lost. Sometimes we go around in circles and keep seeing the same street or house again and again. That's when it's time to ask someone for help. Some people don't like doing that. They say things like, "I'm not lost. I'm just taking the scenic route." This funny excuse means they want to pretend everything is okay, even if it's not. But it's better to ask for help than waste time. You can stop someone politely and say, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to?" This small question can save you a lot of time. Learning to ask for directions is not just helpful, it's also a great way to practice your English. Maybe someone gives you simple steps. Go down the street, turn left at the traffic lights, and the place is on the right. Words like go down, turn left, and traffic lights are important. These words help you understand where to go. A traffic light, for example, is a red, yellow, and green light that controls the cars and tells people when to stop or go. These are the small, real-life things that help you speak English more naturally. So, in this topic, you'll learn phrases, words, and ideas that make traveling in English easier and more fun. You'll discover how to ask for help, understand answers, and even joke about getting lost. Let's keep going and explore this topic together. Sometimes, even when we have a map or a GPS, we still get lost. Maybe the directions are not clear, or maybe we just make a wrong turn. That's why learning how to talk about directions in English is so useful. When you ask someone for help, they might say things like go straight, turn right, or it's the second building on the left. These are everyday phrases that are easy to learn and very helpful. In some places, directions are not always written down. You might hear, go past the general store, or turn left after the post office. These are common phrases in many countries where addresses are not exact. Listening carefully to these directions and repeating them can help you remember better and improve your speaking. Sometimes the person giving directions may also use traffic words like intersection, stop sign, or traffic lights. These words are all part of street language that helps you find your way. A traffic light, for example, tells you when to stop or go, and knowing this word helps you follow the directions better. Learning these phrases also makes your English sound more natural. When you practice them, you're not just learning words, you're learning how people really speak. And the more you practice, the more confident you become when you travel or ask for help in English. Let's keep going and explore more helpful expressions and ideas. When people don't want to ask for directions, they sometimes use funny excuses. One common excuse is, "I'm just taking the scenic route." This phrase sounds nice, but it usually means someone is lost and doesn't want to admit it. The word scenic means beautiful, like a road with trees, lakes, or mountains. So, saying you're on the scenic route is a polite way of hiding the fact that you're going the wrong way. In English, this kind of joke is very common, especially in conversations about traveling. It helps people feel better about the situation. Laughing about getting lost makes the moment less stressful. It also shows how English can be playful and creative. Understanding these small jokes helps you enjoy the language more and connect better with others. But even if you don't joke, it's still good to know how to speak clearly when you ask for help. You can say things like, "I'm trying to get to ST, Mary's Church," or "Can you help me find Park Road?" These simple sentences are polite and clear. Most people are happy to help if you ask kindly. Also, don't be afraid of not understanding everything. Sometimes directions are long or confusing. You can always ask again, "Sorry, can you repeat that, please?" Or "Can you speak more slowly?" These short sentences are powerful tools. They show that you're trying and learning, and most people will be happy to help you understand. Let's keep exploring more phrases and ways to use English with confidence. Sometimes when someone refuses to ask for help, the situation becomes frustrating. In English, you might hear someone say, "This is so typical," meaning this kind of thing happens often. It's a way to show you're not surprised, even if you're a little annoyed. The word typical is useful in many situations. You can say, "It's typical of him to be late," or "This weather is typical for spring." It helps you express habits and expectations. Another phrase people use when feeling annoyed is "shut your trap." This phrase is rude, so you should be careful with it. It means be quiet, and it's usually said when someone is angry. A softer and kinder way to say it is, "Can we have some quiet time?" Or "Can you please stop talking for a moment?" Learning both polite and impolite expressions helps you understand people better, even if you choose to only use the polite ones. These kinds of expressions show emotion and help you communicate more naturally. English is not just about saying the right direction. It's also about how you feel and how you react. If you're annoyed, surprised, thankful, or confused, there are English phrases to help you show that. And if you make a mistake or get lost, remember, it's okay. You're learning. English has phrases for that, too, like "better off." This means things would improve if something changed. For example, "You'd be better off using a map" means using a map is a smarter choice. These are the kinds of phrases that make your English sound real, natural, and alive. Let's keep going deeper into how these expressions help us every day. Many English phrases are short, but full of meaning. Take "better off," for example. It doesn't talk about a place or direction, but about a situation. If someone says, "You'd be better off asking for help," it means your life would be easier, smoother, or more successful if you did that. These kinds of expressions help you talk about choices and results in a simple, natural way. When learning English, it's helpful to notice phrases that don't mean exactly what the words say. "Better off" doesn't mean you are off somewhere. It means your situation is improved. Another phrase like that is "go around in circles." This doesn't mean you're dancing or spinning. It means you keep doing the same thing again and again without getting anywhere. You might walk or drive in circles, seeing the same street or the same building again and again. This phrase is perfect for travel, but it can also describe life situations. If something isn't working, you might say, "I feel like I'm going in circles." When you understand these kinds of phrases, you begin to understand the feeling behind the words. That's what makes your English stronger and more interesting. You're not just speaking, you're expressing ideas in the way native speakers do. And when you mix helpful words like GPS, traffic light, or intersection with these emotional phrases, you start to speak with confidence. You can give directions, ask for help, and talk about your experience, all in English. Let's keep exploring how English brings together practical tools and personal feelings to help you move forward. Getting directions in English isn't just about understanding the words. It's also about recognizing the tone and meaning behind them. For example, when someone says, "Was that hard?" after giving directions, it's not really a question. It's a way of showing that something simple was made difficult for no reason. This kind of phrase is often used to make a point, sometimes with a little humor, sometimes with a little frustration. In daily life, people often use phrases like this to express feelings without directly saying them. If someone didn't want to ask for help, but finally did and it worked, the other person might say, "See?" Or "If you listen to me more, you'd be better off." These are not just words. They're reminders, gentle or sharp, that listening matters. English also uses small words to show big emotions. Words like "whatever" can carry a lot of meaning. In a calm voice, it might mean "that's fine." But in an annoyed voice, it can mean "I don't care" or "I'm tired of this." Learning how these words work in real situations helps you understand people better. Not just what they say, but how they feel when they say it. And sometimes the directions you get are not perfect. You may hear things like, turn after the general store, or go until you reach the traffic lights. In some places, there are no exact street names, so people use landmarks or signs instead. That's why practicing real phrases and situations is more helpful than only learning rules from a book. With each new word or phrase, you're learning how to move through the world in English. You're learning to understand not just where to go, but how to get there with confidence and care. Let's keep building that skill step by step. In many parts of the world, addresses are not always clear. You might hear directions like walk past the tree, turn near the corner store, then look for the red door. These kinds of instructions may sound strange at first, but they are very common. Instead of using street names, people often describe places by what you can see. These are called landmarks, and they're very useful when asking for or giving directions in English. That's why phrases like go past, turn after, or across from are important to learn. They help you understand where things are, even when the area has no signs or street numbers. When you hear, take the second left after the post office, you need to count, pay attention, and sometimes ask again just to be sure. This is not always easy, but with practice, you become better and faster at understanding. Also, many English phrases are shared through jokes. For example, someone might laugh and say, he refused to ask for directions, just like Moses in the desert. It's a funny way to say that someone was too proud to ask for help. These jokes make English feel alive because they mix culture, language, and humor. When you understand these small stories, you feel closer to the language and the people who speak it. Using English in the real world means more than just using correct grammar. It means understanding how people talk, how they give information, and even how they play with words. When you follow someone's directions or laugh at their joke, you are connecting with them. That's the power of learning real, useful English. Let's keep going and learn how to use these words with confidence in more situations. Learning how to ask for and give directions in English helps you do more than just find a place. It helps you build trust. When you ask someone, can you tell me how to get to, you are opening a conversation. And when someone answers with go straight, turn right, or it's just past the bank, they are helping you more than just with words. They're showing kindness, and you're showing respect by listening and trying. It's also helpful to use polite words and tone. A simple excuse me or thank you so much can make a big difference. Even if you make a mistake, these small phrases show that you're trying your best. That effort is what makes people want to help you. And that's true in every language, but especially in English, where tone and manners are a big part of daily conversation. Technology can help too. Many people use a GPS, which is short for Global Positioning System. This tool gives directions in real time and helps you find places faster. But even when using a GPS, it's good to know basic direction words. Sometimes technology doesn't work, or you're in a place where you need to ask a real person. That's why it's better to learn the language, not just follow a voice. Remember, getting lost is not a failure. It's an experience. Every time you ask for help, understand a new word, or find your way in English, you are growing. It's not just about reaching a destination. It's about feeling better off because you used your words, trusted yourself, and kept going. Let's now bring all of this together as we wrap up our journey. Now that you've learned how to ask for directions, understand location phrases, and use travel-related English, you are better prepared to move through the world with ease. You know how to say where you want to go, how to follow steps like go down the road or turn at the traffic lights, and how to respond politely and clearly. These are skills that not only help you when you travel, they help you grow as an English speaker. You've also explored deeper expressions like going in circles, taking the scenic route, better off, and this is so typical. These are more than words. They are part of real, everyday English. They carry emotion, personality, and style. They help you speak not only with your mind, but also with your heart. That's what fluency really means, not just correct grammar, but the ability to connect. So, whether you're walking through a new neighborhood or asking for help in a busy city, you now have the tools to speak clearly and listen carefully. If you ever feel unsure, just remember, every question you ask, Every phrase you try and every answer you understand is a step forward. Thank you for learning with us today. If you found this helpful, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, leave a comment, and don't forget to like and share this with other English learners. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and always keep learning. Goodbye for now, and happy travels on your English journey.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Having, get to. An instruction leading to a place or point. A special offer or discount. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you must leave early in the morning. Better off. On sale. Reach. Be able to arrive at or in. Get to. I think she would be better off with someone her age. Be in a better condition. Better off. Better off. Circulate. We would be better off if we got a divorce. Better off. Global Positioning System. GPS. Shut up. A special offer or discount. On sale. Shut up. Shut your trap. Global Positioning System. GPS. Having the usual characteristics of. Typical. Circulate. Go around. Reach. Be able to arrive at or in. Get to. Be in a better condition. Better off. An instruction leading to a place or point. Direction.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Direction. I need walking directions to your house. Direction. I sent you an email with driving directions to the restaurant. Direction. The directions you sent me were wrong. I couldn't find the house. Typical. The typical adolescent spends 2 hours a day on the phone. Typical. A typical diet consists of a light breakfast, a big lunch, and small dinner. Typical. The typical American will watch on average 6 hours one of the 24 equal parts of a day of TV per day. On sale. Jackets are on sale at the mall today. On sale. I wanted to buy some shoes that were on sale, but I didn't have any money. On sale. All items in this shop are on sale. Get to. I need to get to a hospital ASAP. Get to. John wanted to get to the highway, but he took a wrong turn. Get to. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you must leave early in the morning. Better off. I think she would be better off with someone her age. Better off. We would be better off if we got a divorce. Better off. The company would be better off if the CEO quit.